I guess first and foremost, I don't know whether you heard Sarah Chayes, but most of the world does believe and knows that the Taliban were a very close product of your country. Do you regret that? And 20 years later, do you wish your country had done something different?
I think, Christiane, we have to put this question in its proper perspective. I can understand the instinct to blame somebody for what has been a US-led Western debacle in Afghanistan. 20 years of a war waged by the most powerful army in the world led to the outcome that you have seen, with President Biden saying there is no military solution, and he's absolutely right. That's what my country said at the very start of this war, that there would never be a military solution. And as for Pakistan's role, yes, we kept our channel of communication open with the Taliban. And if we hadn't, Pakistan would not have been able to play the constructive role that it played in helping in the sequence of events that led to the Doha Agreement between the United States and the Taliban. Plus, the fact that the US military had no casualties, no combat casualties for a year and a half since the signing of the Doha Agreement was also in large part due to Pakistan's role in persuading and coaxing and nudging the Taliban towards negotiations and towards a political solution. So I can tell you, Pakistan has the most to gain from peace and stability in Afghanistan. And as you said, it also has the greatest to fear if Afghanistan descends into more fighting, another bout of civil war. So, here we are. And I think it's important not to keep obsessing about the past, but to focus on the future and to see how the international community can contribute to peace and stability in Afghanistan. There are heavy stakes for everyone, not just Pakistan.
So that's the big question, Maliha Lodi. Yeah, Ambassador, that's the big question. And the fact of the matter is there was a military solution and the Taliban won. That was a military solution and they won. And you're now saying that you helped the United States. I think I'm reading through the lines that it was clear that the US wasn't being attacked over the last 18 months of the Doha Agreement. So what do you want to see going forward? What will stop Afghanistan descending into another civil war? And don't forget, even though you don't like to point the finger of blame, your own prime minister has said that the Taliban has delivered Afghanistan from slavery. What do you want to see there and what can they deliver?
I think, Christiane, what we want to see is peace and stability, because my country has suffered through 4 decades of war, strife, and foreign military interventions in Afghanistan. And the fallout is before you. I mean, you've been to this part of the world. You have traveled through Pakistan and to Afghanistan, and you have seen we had to deal with refugees, millions of them. We had to deal with a security challenge. We also had to deal with the problem of drugs. I mean, we had to deal with the witch's brew of problems that came from that. And I think what we would like to see in Afghanistan and what we'd like to see the international community do in Afghanistan is to remain united and to engage with the new government whenever it's formed, and to ensure that Afghanistan, we don't see Afghanistan going into state collapse. That can happen. Look, the economic situation there is very dire. So as far as Pakistan is concerned, we, like other neighboring countries, would also like the Taliban to hold firm to their commitments that they have made to the international community. For example, they have said that they will not allow their soil to be used against attacks on any other country in the region or in fact in the world. So I think that's what we'd like to hold them to. But in order to ensure that they are able to deliver on their promises, we need to also ensure that they're not pushed to the wall and that they are encouraged, because international engagement so far seems to have had at least an initial moderating effect.